Now, the UN says its team of weapon investigators in Syria came under sniper fire as they made the journey to the site of last week's reported chemical weapons attack. Let's cross straight to CNN's Frederick Pleiken, who is live in Damascus. And Fred, what is the status on the UN team and the vehicle?
Well, apparently the vehicle was not serviceable anymore, Christy. At least that's what the United Nations has said in the press release that literally just came out a couple of minutes ago. What they said is that apparently this six-car convoy of the United Nations that earlier left the hotel that the United Nations is staying in came under fire when they were in the buffer zone between rebel-controlled territory and government-controlled territory. They said that the vehicle was hit deliberately multiple times, and because the vehicle couldn't go on anymore, they brought the vehicle back and are now replacing it with a different one and will then return to the area. So apparently they do want to get down there on the ground and start their investigation, even in light of what just happened. Also, of course, before they even departed from the hotel where they're staying at, the area around there was hit by multiple mortars, which also apparently delayed them getting going as well. So certainly it's a very difficult mission for these UN investigators. It's unclear whether or not it was hit by a government or a rebel sniper or simply someone trying to derail this investigation that's going on. However, the United Nations still says firmly that this investigation will go forward. The Assad regime, of course, for their part, saying that the claims of chemical weapons are fabricated, whereas the U.S. says there is little doubt that the Assad regime is behind it. Christy?
Thankfully, no one on this UN team was hurt. As you said, this investigation, it will go on. And when it does, what will the UN team, what will they exactly look for? What kind of evidence will they be able to collect?
Well, they said from the beginning that they're not going to be placing blame at the end of all of this. So they're not going to say the rebels did it or the government did it. But what they can do is they can try and determine what sort of neurotoxic agent might have been used and also how that agent might have been delivered. In other words, what sort of gas came out there on the ground, and was it shot potentially by artillery? Was there some other way that it was unleashed? And of course, those sort of clues could lead to the conclusion to whether it was the government or whether it was the opposition who unleashed this gas. Of course, again, the United States says for its part it already has a lot of clues that seem to pinpoint it towards the Assad government. However, the Russians, for their part, say it's not the time to jump to conclusions. It's time to let this investigation go forward. But the United Nations said from the very beginning that time is of the essence. Of course, we are 5 days after all of this allegedly happened, and so it's going to be fairly difficult for them to find a lot of this evidence, especially if they're going to try to take things like soil samples. Also, because, Christy, in the past couple of days, the area where all of this allegedly happened has been pounded by Syrian government artillery and warplanes. Christy?
Of course, a lot of that evidence could have been compromised as a result. Frederick Pleiken joining us live from Damascus. Thank you.